Hey guys, welcome to today's math lesson. Let me go ahead and share my screen with you guys. You guys, from your packet, you're going to need lesson 10. Problem set, lesson 10 problem set. Okay, so what we're going to do today is I can create rectangle and square arrays. So real quick, when we talk about rectangles, this is something that you guys all know, but I'm just going to review with you. When we talk about rectangles, we're talking about shapes that have two sides off to the side that are the same, and then the sides top and bottom are the same. So the two parallel sides are the same length, but not all four are the same length. When we talk about a square, all four sides are the same. So we can kind of tell when we build arrays, and we'll see that today, is if we are building a rectangle or a square shape. Okay, so first thing I want you to do is I want you to pause the video, grab lesson 13 template. It will look like this, because what you're going to do is you're going to pause the video and you're going to cut out these tiles. They're going to help you with our lesson today and then lessons in the future. So when you cut them out, make sure you grab like a little baggie that you can keep them in so you can use them again. When you have them all cut out, and you're going to cut out each individual square so that you've got like little tiny tiles here. Then go ahead and unpause the video and we can keep continuing with our lesson. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to do is we are going to put our tiles that we have here, and my blocks are tiles, same thing, and we're going to put them into two equal groups. So this is something that we did at the very beginning of this module. Now remember, I do one at a time. I do one in each circle, and then I go to the next circle. So this way I know that we're making equal groups. Because that's the thing about arrays, is they need to be equal groups. Okay, so how many do I have in each group? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So do I have equal groups? Yes. Okay, so what I'm going to do is first I'm going to go ahead and build rows. Remember, rows go side to side. So I'm going to take each group and I'm going to put it in a row. Now, the difference with our tiles here is you want to make sure that they are touching, that there's no gaps in between, but you don't want them overlapping like this. So that's why I'm having you guys cut out those tiles instead of using your regular counters, is because I want you guys to be able to practice lining these up nice and straight. So go ahead, as I'm doing this, I want you guys doing the same thing. Take your tiles, your two groups of 5, and then let's put them into rows. You see how I built one row with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in it? Now with my second row, I'm not going to have a space in between it. I'm going to have it connect. Just like this. You don't want any spaces or overlapping in between your tiles. Okay, so your tile should look something like this. So what repeated addition sentence can we write if we're looking at rows? It would be 5 plus 5, and what does that equal? 10, yes. Okay, we looked at rows. Right now, what shape did I make? Did I make a rectangle or a square? I made a rectangle. Why is this shape a rectangle? The top and the bottom sides are the same, and the two sides are the same, but all 4 are not the same. So it makes it a rectangle. Yes. Now, let's go ahead and put our tiles back in our circles here. So go ahead and put them back in to 2 equal groups of 5. This time, what I'm going to do, instead of building rows, I'm going to build columns. Which way do columns go? Up and down. So let's go ahead and do our columns now. So you guys, remember, go ahead and do it with me as I'm doing it. Do your own. You're making 2 columns of 5. Remember, no gaps in between your tiles, and don't have your tiles overlap. Whoa, I don't know what happened. So I've got 1 column. And remember, when I build my second column, make sure that it butts right up next to the other column. So there's no gaps between any of the tiles. All right, does yours look like this? All right, so looking at my 2 columns, what sentence can I write? We can keep the 5 plus 5 equals 10. Now, what shape did I make? It's still a rectangle, yep, because we still have 2 sides that are same and 2 sides that are same, but not all 4 are the same size. And we know this because the sides on the top and the bottom are only 2 tiles wide, where the sides that are on the left and the right are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tiles wide. So we have 2 and 2, and then 5 and 5. What if I was looking at this array right now and I wanted to look at the rows? What would my repeated addition sentence be for the rows? So I got a row here, a row here, a row here, a row here, and a row here. How many are in each row? 2. How many rows do I have? I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rows. So my sentence would say 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 equals 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Did we get the same answer? We sure did. Okay, so now I'm going to take our tiles. You guys are going to need 12 tiles. So count out 12 tiles, and now we're going to make 3 equal groups. So remember, 1 at a time. Let's just start putting those tiles 1 at a time in each group. So as I do this, you guys do that too. Put a tile 1 in each group, and you're going to need 3 groups. Okay, how many tiles are in each group? 4. So let's go ahead and make each group, let's turn them into rows. Remember, rows go across. So remember, tiles are touching, they're not overlapping. Now, can I have my tiles touching like that? Nope, they have to be lined up nice and neat, just like this. So there's 1 row. Let's do our next row. There's my next row. And then my final row. Okay, I made my array. Looking at the rows, what repeated addition sentence can I write? I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So I've got 4 in each row, and how many rows do I have? 1, 2, 3. So let's go ahead. We've got 4 plus 4 plus 4 equals 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 4, 8, 12. Okay, what shape did I build? What shape? Now, this one's a little bit harder to see if it's a rectangle or a square. Remember, if it's a square, it needs to be equal on all four sides. So up top here, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. On the side, we have 1, 2, 3. So are the top and the side, are they the same size? No, so this is still a rectangle. This is still a rectangle. If I were to take away a whole column here, then I'd have 1, 2, 3 in the top, and then 1, 2, 3 on the side, and 1, 2, 3 in the bottom, and 1, 2, 3 on the other side. Then this would be a square. But the way it was, we had our top and our bottom were a little bit longer, so that still makes it a rectangle. Okay, let's put them back. So let's put our rows back into our circles. And now we're going to turn it into columns. We're going to turn it into columns. All right, remember, which way do columns go? Up and down. So I'm going to take each, remember there's 4 in each group, so now I'm going to turn those into columns where it goes up and down. So remember, as I build it, go ahead with your tiles, do the same thing. Make sure there's no gaps, that the sides on the top and on the bottom are touching. So I've got 2 columns built. There we go. We have our 4th column. Okay. Did my sentence change? If I'm looking at my columns, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and I have 1, 2, 3 columns. So I've got 3 columns of 4. Do I have 3 groups here? I do, and is there 4 in each group? There is, so our sentence still stays the same. Real quick, looking at our columns here, let's write our multiplication sentence. We have 3 columns of 4. So we have 3 columns of 4, and that equals our 12. All right, guys, does that make sense? So that's what you're doing today, is you're just taking your tiles, you're building columns and rows and arrays like they are telling you to, and then you're going to write the repeated addition sentence. So actually on your math paper, you won't have room to show me how you could draw your arrays. So what you're going to do is just on your table or on your floor or wherever it is that you're working, you're just going to use those tiles that you cut out. You are going to build your array that it tells you, and then on the line, you're going to write your repeated addition sentence. So if you guys pull out your lesson 10 problem set, it looks like this, front and back. You don't really have, there's just not a ton of room. You can, if you want to, off to the side, draw them if it makes you feel better, but you can use your tiles too and build it. I'm perfectly okay with it. It's front and back, okay? And this is your homework for your math homework for the week. So this is the page that I definitely need to see. We are gonna do the first one together, and then you guys will have time to work on the rest of it yourselves, okay? So the first problem says, construct a rectangle with 2 rows of 3 tiles. So it's telling me how many rows I need to have and how many are gonna be in each row. So I am going to build it. You guys use your tiles and build it too. So I need 2 rows that has 3 tiles in each row. And make sure, remember, your tiles are touching, they're not overlapping, there's no gaps between them. So I've got 1 row that has 3 in it, Then let's build my second row. Remember, they go across. Guys, really take your time making sure that you're getting your tiles lined up nice and neat, okay? All right, so looking at my array that I made, my rectangle, what would my repeated addition sentence be? 3 plus 3 equals 6. And if you guys want to write your multiplication sentence too, you can. So it's 2 rows of 3. So 2 rows of 3 equals 6. 2 times 3 equals 6. All right, now listen, flip over to the back of that paper. Flip over to the back of that paper. At the bottom here, it wants you to tell me the shapes that you're building. Remember, rectangles have 2 sides that are the same and the other 2 sides are the same. And a square has all 4 sides that are the same. Make sure you count your tiles, see if they're the same to tell me what shape it is. Because sometimes it might be a little hard. It might be a rectangle, but it looks like a square. So make sure you count, okay? And if they tell you how many tiles, like there's one problem, number 3 on the back, it says construct a rectangle of 9 tiles that has equal rows and columns. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna take 9 of your tiles, put them in a group, and then start making 2 or 3 groups to see how many you would have in each group and then build it, okay? It might take some time for you just to kind of play around with it until you have equal groups. All right, guys? Remember, if you have any questions, get a hold of me, okay? All right, I hope you guys have a fantastic day. I will talk to you later. Bye.